Hey folks, welcome back to Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs in the Home Garage. I'm going to bring you a couple of tips and tricks that I use. Hopefully this will save you some time and put some cash in your pocket. I use the original paint that came with the car as a guide coat to block the car down as I'm doing body work. And I'll do this for two reasons. One, the paint's already there and it's got to come off. You got to get down to the bare metal. And while you're doing so, why not find the areas that need to be fixed, all your door dings and dents and stuff. I'm not talking about the areas where you know you're gonna have to replace a panel or you know you're gonna have to put a patch panel. I'm talking about the spots that you actually think are good, but they're not. In the past, I've spent $1,500 in my area to have a car media blasted. Then I go in there and I put another $250 plus or more in materials, primers, high build primers, to put paint back on it, only to try to sand it off to find the areas that I need to do body work. So why not just use the product that's on the car, block it down, do most of your body work as you're going, then use that expensive new primer as the base. You know, you're gonna still have to put your guide coats down and block it, possibly have to put more primer on it and block it. This is gonna save you some materials. Plus, you're not gonna have to spend that upfront money to have one media blasted. The guy's gonna go around and media blast the whole entire car and charge you for every panel, where most of that stuff, if it's a rusty car, you're gonna have to replace anyway. You've just spent $200 to have this paint stripped off of a quarter panel that has to be replaced, or $250 to have the paint stripped off of a hood that's gonna have to be replaced. So save that money, put it towards new panels if you have to have them. But anyway, let me spin this camera around and show you some of what I've already done and some of what I've found underneath this paint. All right, so this is the original paint on the car. And in most areas, I have counted 7 coats of paint. And that's pretty typical, 7 coats of paint. You can see the top coat. I polished this area out. I got down to the primer that they use or sealer, but I polished this area out just to see what the original color actually was and take a sample with the reader just so that I'll know what to go back with. This is what you're looking for. You dolly these out. I can feel those, but you can see them now because when I blocked it, it left it in the, in the depth of the dent. So you go in, hammers and dollies, dolly it all out. When you get down to the bare metal and you don't have this to go by anymore, I use the tool layout die. All right, this is just the adhesive brand that I've got it on Amazon. I'm not sure how to put that link thing in, not really worried about it, but it's on Amazon, eBay, a lot of your hardware stores, machinist shops and stuff like that will have it. I use that when I get down to the bare metal and I'm trying to fine tune a dent. Maybe I worked the dent too hard and I've got some outies that I've got to make innies again or make them level, shrinking them, getting them back in. I use this tool layout die. It sticks to the bare metal and where my powder guide coat won't, and I do not want to use an aerosol cheap paint can because that'll come back and bite you later. So anyway, get the tool die in, get all your work done like this, and the die will be left behind just like the original paint. See right here? That is showing me that I still have a dent left there. Now, if I can block this out like I'm trying to do, and it's not going anywhere, all right, I can't feel this anymore, but I can still see it right there. So when you put a nice shiny paint job on it, you're still gonna be able to see that. Now, being that it's that small, I can probably work that out just a little bit more, but I don't want to come out too far because the primer, the high build primer will glaze right over that. And if that won't work, a little bit of glazing putty will. This right here, this little dent that I showed you, I can still feel that pretty good. You can't see it, but you can feel it. I'll probably hit that from the bottom side up a couple of times, get that working a little bit, and then the primer and the putty will I'll find that later if it's still there when I do prime it. But why pay, let's just say $250 per panel to have the paint stripped off, and it's going to be a bad panel when you get finished. And you've got to spend another $250 and $100 shipping. Just save that money, guys. It's, you know, the media blasting is such a mess anyway. But anyway, let me walk you around and show you some more stuff on this car. All right, so you can see right here where I've used the original E-coat, and I found a low spot right here. This was all a high spot. This is a brand new hood, straight out of the box. There's a few other little dings and dents that I found up here that I've already circled that I'll have to come back and work when I can get to them a little bit better. But this particular Bronco, the body is completely ready to come off the chassis and go onto the rotisserie. But all of this work right here is gonna save me time later. Yeah, I can still feel that low spot right there. So there's a brace right here, there's a brace right here. So I can't get the dolly on this real well, but I've knocked down a lot of that high spot, so it may have to be wiped and glazed. There's a couple cross beams, and then there's a cross beam coming this way. So you gotta do the best you can. Suction cups, heat. All right, on this quarter right here, we're probably gonna have to replace both the upper and lower sections of the quarter. You can see a lot of discoloration and rust, surface rust that's down through here. Some areas like this right here was completely rusted out. So I went ahead and cut out the rust in a nice square hole, just in case I found good news back there. I could just replace this section that was rusted out. And you can see I've already, I was gonna go all the way up here because this has already been welded on. You can see all the dabbled up welds and the gaps and stuff that they left all the way down. So I'm gonna say a long time ago, this quarter may have been replaced, or they just did a lot of patching on it where it was rusted out. Everywhere where there's these panels meet up and there's a flange where they're spot welded together, they seam seal this from the factory, and one little crack, you know, at the top where, you know, water can get in there and just work its way down through the years, this whole entire seam rust. And unless you replace all three panels, it can come back and bite you. So anyway, that's just a quick tip on one way that I save money by using the old paint, taking it off with sandpaper. I use this layout die. Please, before you do any body work over that area, just use a simple wax and grease remover, acetone, something along that nature to wipe it off. It comes off really easy. You don't want that underneath your paint. I forgot to mention that. Once again, thanks for watching Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs YouTube channel. We really enjoy bringing you all the tips and tricks and what's going on in the garage on a weekly basis. It's sure great to have such a great family of YouTube subscribers that like, follow, and share our channel. We're just all a big family. I enjoy all the comments. I read every one. I reply back to them as fast as I can. The channel is growing, and I sure appreciate everything that you guys are doing to make that happen. Lots of more fun stuff to come. So get off your couch, get out in the garage, and make something. Thanks again, guys.